Okay, so I don't want to necessarily keep the theme going here, but I'm going to because this is the subject that I have for today. In the past, now, like even like the last Rogue Report that I released had to do about actors, and I think like one of the first ones, if not the first one, was the episode that I did where actors were turning down roles, like they regretted turning down those roles. But now I want to specify that like obviously I like movies and I pay attention to film and stuff like that, but this particular one I'm just talking about three people in particular because there are three people that you know exactly who they are just by the look on their face. Like you know exactly who that person is from this movie. Like, oh, that's the guy that plays this person in that movie. And they're always in the exact same person's movies. And that's obviously because these people are all friends. Or maybe they were friends and now they're not anymore. But if you've ever seen any Adam Sandler movie ever, there is like literally one in like there's like a very, very high chance that one of these three guys is in that movie, if not all three of them are in the movie. And those three guys that I wanted to talk about are Peter Dante, Allen Covert, and Johnathan Loughran. Now, the one person that out of the three of them that I honestly like, I have been doing. Oh, fuck you, phone. The the stuff that I've been doing, the research that I did for this, I can't really find a lot about John Loughran. Now, if you don't know who that is, obviously he's the guy. He's pretty much in every single one of. I'm sorry, he's in pretty much every one of Adam Sandler's movies. Any movie that has, a role, like any movie that has a role for him, he's gonna play it. He was in The Waterboy. He's the guy that has like all the crazy eyes. He's like, "Did you just make a joke, Bobby Boucher? That's a good one." He's in Big Daddy. He's in Little Nicky. He in Little Nicky he would be alongside Peter Dante with the long hair. They were the rock and roll guys in that movie. He was in. I'm actually looking, like, I'm just like going down his list of like filmography. Oh, see, this is the one thing that I do like about Johnathan Loughran because he just appears in random movies all the time. Somehow he has an in with Quentin Tarantino because he is in Kill Bill. He's Trucker in Kill Bill, in both Volume 1 and 2. It says that he's in both of those movies as Trucker. But he was also in Death Proof. When they go and look at the Challenger that they want to go and get, he's the one that's selling the car. And I always thought that that was really cool that he just like randomly popped up in that movie. And looking at his list, like it says that the last film that he has a credit for, according to this list, is in 2023. But like The Wrong Missy is I'm pretty sure that is if it's not a Happy Madison production, it's close to it. I know Murder Mystery is because Adam Sandler's in it. Sandy Wexler, The Do-Over, Ridiculous Six, Hotel Transylvania, Pixels, Blended, Grown Ups, both of them. Jack and Jill, Bucky Lark. These are all Happy Madison movies. And going as far back as Bulletproof, that was like one of Adam Sandler's first movies. Bulletproof was Adam Sandler and Wayans? Was it Damon Wayans? I think so. Click this so I know who the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, it's Damon Wayans. But no, like I tried to look for more information about Loughran, but like the only thing I guess that there is to know about him, other than like he's just an actor and a friend that has been working with Adam Sandler since like the late '80s, early '90s, and they've just been going ham ever since. And then most of the time he's paired up with one or the other who I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Peter Dante next. Because with the information that I've been getting with him is the fact that like, oh, I would... there's a couple of things that I didn't know about Peter Dante that I learned, which I guess that was part of this project in the first place. Now, if you don't know who Peter Dante is without seeing a picture of him, Peter Dante is the he's the quarterback in The Waterboy. I got a water spoon. He's one of the firemen in Chuck and Larry. I know that he has like that scene at the end of the movie where Lance Bass shows up and he's like the wedding singer. Well, not in the movie The Wedding Singer, but in Chuck and Larry at the end. And Peter Dante stands up and is singing. I think it's fucking Wham. Whoever fucking Wham is, whoever that guy's name is. My brain's George Michael. God fucking damn it. But also Peter Dante is just Dante. If you've ever seen Grandma's Boy, he's just Dante. Now, from what I was reading, is that like most of these guys just happened to be friends. He was in Happy Madison movies. I've named a couple, but he's been. I think it says here that he was a part of at least 7 of them. All the way up until about 2013. Now. In 2013, the movie Grown Ups 2 was released. Dante's role in the movie was that of just himself, basically. He was just Officer Peter Dante, and his partner was Shaq, which putting those two together, I guess, was fun. But after the release of the movie, it says that Dante was kicked out of a hotel after using a racial slur towards a staffer who didn't recognize him as an actor. And that's when sometimes, I guess, actors can be pieces of shit because, like, just because somebody doesn't recognize you, that doesn't mean that, like, you're, I mean, like, no offense to Peter Dante, but you're not Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler gets fucking recognized every goddamn day of his life, I bet. And he also, like, he also seems one of those people, like... Adam Sandler he just doesn't give a shit. Sometimes you like look at him like when he goes out to an award show, he's wearing a fucking t-shirt and basketball shorts. And I'm not saying that he doesn't care about his appearance, but I feel like he doesn't give a shit what other people might think of him. But at the same time, he's living his life the way that he wants to as a fucking human. And I remember seeing a picture that somebody had took, and I was like, that's something mean. I mean, maybe he ended up getting a laugh out of this, but it was a picture that somebody took when Adam Sandler is out and about, like at a restaurant. Like he can't, like how fucking hard is it for this man to go out and enjoy like a meal without just being berated by people? When there's a picture of him sitting at like a table at a restaurant with his wife and kids, and somebody has to take a picture of him. And he's looking dead at this fucking person taking this picture. And the look in his face and the look in Adam's eyes are just, I'll fucking shove that phone right up your ass. Like, leave me alone. Like, why do you have to take that picture? You don't. But that's like that's like a popular meme. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. I can find it. Here it is. So with, Dante doing that in 2013... years and years later, here in 2020, Dante was arrested in LA where he lived because he had a fight with his neighbor over loud noising, like construction work being done next door to his house. And he didn't like the noise that it was making, and apparently he threatened to kill his neighbor and harm his wife and kids. So it seems as if, I don't know necessarily if he just like had a screw loose or some bullshit. I'm not really sure what happened there. Like he just kind of tweaked out and then had that moment. And that's kind of why, I guess in the past 5 years or so, maybe even ever since 2013, but maybe it goes as far back as that, but Peter Dante, or I guess maybe the separation between the two of them is, obviously for the best. It's just a bad look for Happy Madison. It's a bad look for Sandler. So that's probably why that's split and they're no longer working together. But he's still there and he's still in every single one of the bangers that everybody grew up on, whether it's Waterboy, Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds, 50 First Dates. He's in all of that shit. And in all honesty, I thought Peter Dante was a really good actor. He can play a real big dumb fuck. That's the one thing that I will give him. He like for a comedic actor, for somebody to have range, he can play somebody as stupid as fucking like himself. Like the character Dante in Grandma's Boy is a completely different character than like some of the other ones that he's done, like especially in Big Daddy. Like him and Covert were they were lawyers. He acted normal, like a normal person, but then like he was one of those people that I feel like was able to change and be more believable. But anyway, we'll go on to the third guy here. Now, the third one here in Allen Covert, I think he is way more noticed. And that is because, like, I mean, also, I'm not trying to discredit Dante and Loughran's work ethic, but Allen Covert did not stop at just acting. If anything, from what I'm reading here, when it comes to Happy Madison in particular, Covert is an executive producer, and he is sometimes a co-writer on most of these films. So it's almost just if I know Happy Madison. Let me actually see something real quick. Happy Madison Production is an American film and television company founded by Adam Sandler in 1999. Obviously, splitting the name between Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. Company has released film by other producers such as Stephen Brill. No. One of the names is Tom Brady. Is that the same Tom Brady? It isn't. It it isn't, by the way. There's a Tom Brady film director that has worked with Adam Sandler before. It's not Tom Brady. What? That threw me off there for a second. I was like, what the fuck is this? Happy Madison, it just seemed the founder is Adam Sandler. But key people right, okay, so that's what I was actually looking for. The key people, like the next name on that list is Allen Covert. So that means he's just as important to that brand, in my opinion. Because especially with Allen Covert and a Happy Madison production film that got a lot of success. And now, if I'm not mistaken, the success of Grandma's Boy came from... I'm not saying that Grandma's Boy bombed, but the budget for the movie was $5 million. And the box office made 6.6. So it wasn't great. Now, let me read something here. Grandma had an approval rating of 15% based on reviews from 61 critics. Holy shit, it got a 3.6 like immediately. It's more gross than comedic. It's lazy. It's unrewarding. Blah 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 blah. It just did terrible for what I honestly don't know how this film did so bad, because I thought it was excellent. It opened in 2006, earning $3 million in its opening weekend, having grossed over $6 million domestically, and a worldwide total of almost 6.6. Now, here's where it comes in. I don't know how this is this is the type of shit that is crazy to me. Now, when they released the movie on DVD, it was released, when was it fucking in the theaters? Excuse me, one more time. January of 2006. May of 2006, it was released on DVD, and it grossed $35 million in sales. Plus, for, there's more for TV revenue and shit like that. It was... Oh, wow. This is actually a really funny thing. I just learned this now. I didn't read this earlier, but in December of 2022, interview with Nick Swartzen on a podcast tells that there was a meeting between Adam Sandler and Nick Swartzen, and it was a meeting of the then CEO of Blockbuster. You remember Blockbuster? In the late 2010s, the Previous CEO of Blockbuster told Swartzen and Sandler that Grandma's Boy was, quote, one of the most stolen movies of all time because nobody returned it ever. So once you, apparently back when you could rent this movie, it was yours to keep. Just never give it back. Oh, that's just, but when it comes to Grandma's Boy in particular, it being Allen Covert's one and only starring role in a movie. And I'm not saying that he, isn't capable of starring in a movie. He totally was, and I think that Grandma's Boy was fantastic. Like, it still to this day can hold up perfectly. For whatever reason, that's just like the opening reception and all that bullshit was just terrible. But also, like, Linda Carlisle or whatever the fuck her name is, she's excellent. I think she's pretty. You got Shirley Jones in that movie, and that like throws people off a lot. Like, and then another person that would be, I guess, considered maybe like the fourth member of this list would be Nick Swardson, but I feel like Nick Swardson is also he's obviously younger than these guys, and I wouldn't say that he doesn't have the same connection. He could obviously just be as good as friends with Sandler as Allen Covert is, but for me, Nick Swardson had his different. He just has a different upbringing in his career. I feel like he got popular off of a couple of different things. One of them being, stand-up comedy, but he's also a very, very successful screenwriter and producer on his own. But some of his like earlier roles when it comes to acting would be Reno 911. That's where I think Swardson got recognized through certain other things. Like, he's like probably, I would say he's closer to like 15 to 20 years younger than everybody. So there's that. But I also give Nick Swardson the credit. I would also give Allen Covert the credit, because here's like, this is the list of stuff that I have here for Covert when it comes to being a part of a Happy Madison movie when he has 2 credits in it. Whether that he's an actor and a writer, or an actor or producer, or all fucking 3 for the matter of fact. But like, the benchwarmers I put on this list, he's not in the movie, but he is a writer, and he wrote that alongside of Nick Swardson, and I will always give that movie credit. I think that The Benchwarmers is a fantastic movie. I'm pretty sure it is a Happy Madison production. Adam Sandler's not in it, but Rob Schneider's in it. Very popular. Also another Adam Sandler guy, but I wouldn't also put Rob Schneider on this list just because of the fact that he was also like, he was a friend of Sandler's through SNL. Nick Swardson was in this. Who the fuck else? Oh, David Spade would be another example of why like I can't put everybody on this list, because I could, like David Spade could be a bigger Sandler guy as well. He has cameos. I mean, so does Rob Schneider, but it's these guys that have these roles that are like main, like not necessarily main characters, but they are in the movies. So like Covert is in Big Daddy, and he was also either a producer or a writer. Little Nicky, Mr. Deeds, 8 Crazy Nights, Anger Management, The Longest Yard, and then I always said Grandma's Boy, which I'm pretty sure he would have had all 3 for that movie. Let's actually see what all 3 that he did have. Grandma's Boy, he had all 3. Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, which I fucking, oh my god, that I can't remember that movie being fucking stupid as all hell. I could probably go back and try to rewatch it, but I'm not going. I have a feeling that I won't. And like ever since like 2010 and on, he's pretty much a producer and sometimes an executive producer on most of these movies. And what's really funny is most of them are kids movies. And then I found this out about Allen Covert, is that he is a founder of Cherry Tree Books, a publisher of ebooks for children. Writing children's books or helping people publish children's books. Because what I'm guessing is that a lot like Sandler, Covert might just be himself a family man and like to entertain his children the best way that he can. I'm assuming you have children. And if he doesn't and he's writing children's book, then he just, he just cares to entertain everybody if possible. And then it even says here that Covert's on-screen presence has been reduced in the past couple of years, but that's just due to him being more hands-on in Happy Madison, where he is an executive producer here and there. He's a co-writer on most of the company's films. And here it actually says that he has contributed heavily to Sandler's comedy albums in the past, and receiving co-writing credits on the original songs that Sandler has performed in many of his films, which I'm guessing, like, what is The Wedding Singer? Somebody kill me, please. But and that's the thing. It's like I try to think, did they grow up together? How did this all become? But from what I'm guessing, I couldn't really necessarily see how Peter, Dante, and Adam Sandler, the four of these guys, how did they become friends? And if I had to take a guess, well, it says here that Allen Covert and Adam Sandler were classmates at the New York University where they both studied theater. But that doesn't tell me that that's where Dante went. I don't think that's where he went. And Loughran, if they just all, maybe two of them were friends, and then the other two were friends, and then they all knew each other some way or somehow, and then they all just became really good friends. Because I feel like the most iconic scene or picture, when I think of all four of these guys in the same movie at the same time in the same scene, is Big Daddy, when Adam Sandler comes in and they waste a good surprise on him, and he sits down and he's talking to his guys. And the two, it's Peter Dante and Allen Covert are the gay couple, and they're talking about something, and they ask him for advice, and then one dude splits, and then it's left to, I think it's Allen Covert that leaves, and then Johnathan Loughran's still iffy on the fact that two of his best friends throughout college ended up being gay. But that's the one scene in my head that I can picture all four of them together at once. Because then there's obviously there's probably many scenes in Waterboy where three of them are there, but there is no, Allen Covert is not in Waterboy. I'm 100% sure he's not in the movie. I mean, if he is, then I don't remember him being in that movie. Oh, he is. He is in the Waterboy. He is Walter in the Waterboy. Who the fuck is Walter? Is he one of the guys in the stands? I said Joe Montana. That's not. I don't think that's him. Now I have to go fucking see who he plays in this movie now. Who the fuck? YouTube magic. Please tell me, wait a minute, that is actually right? Is he literally one of the guys in the stands? Holy shit, he is! It's literally who he is. Allen Covert's the guy who goes, Joe Montana was a quarterback, you crazy asshole. That's who that is? Or is he the other guy? That is him. Holy shit, I'm fucking stupid. Okay. Covert was in... Oh, okay, that's another good one for him, would be 10 Seconds On. I'm literally trying to find movies that they were all in together and all possibly in a scene together, because fucking, I swear, Big Daddy has to be the only one. And it's going to drive me nuts, because, there is Little Nicky. No, Little Nicky, absolutely. Yeah, Little Nicky, because they're all in the apartment together. That's when they fucking eat the dog's weed cake, and then they get all high, and then they're laughing. And Dante and Loughran are the rockers, and then Allen Covert's Adam Sandler's roommate. And then the dog. Beefy. Little Nicky. There's a Little Nicky video game? Hold the fuck on. It just said Little Nicky, that he got a credit for the movie, and then underneath that it says there's a video game. What the fuck is this horseshit? It is a Game Boy Color. Adam Sandler is Nicky, little Nicky. It literally looks like the fucking same cover of the movie with him in the big blue jacket with the dog. Platform video game based upon the film. Published by Ubisoft. This should be on every goddamn... Like, Ubisoft Plus is a thing. I want to play this game. I don't give a shit that it was released on Game Boy. Give it to me now. The game was met with mixed receptions, gave it a score of 67%. I mean, you're failing terribly. I can't believe that I never knew that there was a little Nicky video game. But anyway, I think I've pretty much talked about most of what I wanted to talk about, just because of the fact, like, yeah, it's just these guys. It's one of those things where it's, you know, somebody by face, but you don't know them by name. So maybe now you can totally put a name to these people's faces. And you know, hell, if there's a movie that I would recommend that if you haven't seen it, you should totally watch Grandma's Boy, especially if you're into video games like I am. Hell, it is early 2000. It's 2006. So it's just so it's a bit of a watch. Well, I don't know why it did so bad in theaters, but it just did so fucking bad in theaters, and people hated it so much. It is very, very good, and the fact that he really didn't get anything after that, I'm not. And maybe he just realized maybe it's not for him. Sandler doesn't fucking necessarily care about being in the spotlight. He's used to it now. But maybe, like, you know, Allen Covert was like, I'll do this, and then did it. And maybe he, you know, maybe it was the outcome of that, you know, the box office buried him as, you know, ever having a starring role in a movie ever again. Or he took it personally and was like, oh, I'm never doing this ever again. And even when the DVD sales came out, people were like, oh, you should try it again. No, he might be just content with being, you know, producer or exec producer or even writer. He's perfectly fine with doing that and having his small roles, and hasn't necessarily had a role in a movie. This is a Kevin James movie that I never heard about. It's called Home Team. That was the last role that it says that he has had, or he's just like a referee at what looks like a soccer team or just a football team, actually. He was all like, so it's he's been in movies. Like, it seems like the last time he had a role in what seems to be it was either Hubie Halloween or Home Team, if Home Team is a Happy Madison production, that is. He does have a credit for Happy Gilmore 2, which is coming out, but I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly don't know how I feel about Happy Gilmore 2. You can wait so fucking long to make a movie. You choose 30 years later to make a sequel. It's not that I'm going in with, like, hate or, like, I don't understand why it took so hard to... Holy shit, Kyle Newacek. Is that the guy that's from Workaholics? Yep. Kyle Newacek was one of the guys, like, there's Adam, Durs, and Blake. They're, like, in the show, it was the weed dealer was Kyle, but I think they called him Carl. But he was also, like, the guy who was also, like, writing and directing the shows. He was the one that wasn't the actor. He was, like, the filmmaker and, like, producer and director of shit like that. Like, it, yeah. So anyway, he's directing Happy Gilmore 2, and that's neat. So anyway, thank you for stopping by the channel today and listening to this episode of Rogue Report. Still don't know what I'm doing. Whether or not this is going to be a weekly thing. If this comes out, like, if this comes out when it comes, I don't know when it's going to come out. Today's Saturday. I literally just opened or released a Rogue Report episode before this. So maybe I'll release this next week. And if I didn't, I am sorry. But maybe I'll just keep it posted or keep myself updated here. Depending on what I decide to do, I kind of think I am going more towards the idea of making this a weekly thing because I like it. I like having the SCP podcast be a weekly thing. I kind of want something else, kind of more on the same lines of that. So let's go with that. Let's actually say it now. That actually no, I'm not going to say it now. To be determined. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.